On. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Glad y'all here with me today. You know what I'm gonna say. Y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all here with me today. God bless. Thank you for giving me the time to speak your ears and put some knowledge into your head. You know, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for tuning in to the Lethal Truth, where the truth shall set you free mentally. It can also mean physically, depending on the situation and where you at. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you come in, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please, I appreciate it. You know, I got a good one for y'all today, but you know what I'm always say, give it a little couple of minutes so people can start tuning in before, you know, I start speaking on what I'm going to speak on today. Um, those that are there, how was your day? How was your day today? I hope everything was good. Mine was it was good. It was real good. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the weather. You know what I'm saying? The weather is beautiful today. You know, although I dressed to be prepared. I wasn't taking no chance because the weather said it was going to be 56 degrees. It don't mean you got to go to the store with slippers on. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I dressed appropriate. I dressed warm enough. You know, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the air. I enjoyed the fresh air. It wasn't that cold. Wasn't that hot. I was able to breathe good. You know what I'm saying? Normally, either it'd be too damn cold or it'd be too damn hot. Your nose gets stuffy, you know? So we'll wait it out for a few people to tune in before I begin. I got my gallon of water. Mm. Ooh, one thing I like about water, I like to put it in the freezer and then get that big brick of ice, and then you take it out. You put cold water on it. You just let it marinate. Oh man, that cold water when it hits you, feel like you're on a desert somewhere. John Banks, peace, peace, peace. How was your day, man? Hope everything was good. Enjoyed the weather today. Ooh, okay. I'm getting an early birthday gift. Okay. Sis, that's my sisters over here. She fixing up some of the wires bending over and all that. Not saying I'm trying to get hit with a sexual lawsuit or anything, but my sisters, man, she packing over here. So thank you, man. Yeah, I'm waiting for midnight. As soon as midnight come, you know, I'm be turning it up, you know. I ain't get what I really want to drink, not yet. I'm gonna wait till exit tomorrow. Now I got some wine or something. I got little small bottles of Julio and stuff. I might just, you know, sip that for the night until tomorrow. But the weekend is on and popping. You know what I'm saying? Turning the big 5-0, big 50. Wow. Can't believe I actually made it, man. I mean, I could believe it, but you know, all through the trials and tribulations, you street life, jail life, you know, I'm just happy to be here, man. You know, I'm happy to say that at this age, I'm finally done with prison. I'm finally done with streets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, it's so comfortable. It's like I don't want to do nothing now. I'll just lay here. You know what I'm saying? But let's get right into it. I was gonna talk about this yesterday, but I got caught up into something. But you know, it's a good thing that I didn't, because you know, they always say something comes on better. And you know, I had thought up on some other stuff for the day during what I got to say. Today I'm talking about Willie Boskett. Who is Willie Boskett? I don't know about you, but when I was growing up and running the streets, I always heard about this dude, Willie Boskett. I heard he was a wild boy. I heard they built his own jail. I was like, hold up, they got his own jail? It was like, yo, they built his own jail for him, right? Hey, stop that. I said, pardon me, that's my bully. You know, so Willie, he was a different type of individual. When I was here growing up, I always thought he was some sort of real serial killer because the way they always spoke about him. Willie was also a type of individual who, no, I would say he was the person that the government chose to decide that they wanted to revise the Juvenile Offender Act. Now, who was Willie? Willie came from a real troubled past, right? Excuse me for a minute. Oh, yes. My bad, y'all. So Willie was he came from a troubled past. His great grandfather was a he was a slave. Of course, in 1865 he was free. He got his light complexion, his light skin complexion, because his mother, his great grandmother, was a product of rape. You know what I'm saying? So Aaron, he pretty much hate white folks. Um, when he got married, he had a son of his own named Clifton, who they call Puddin' Boskett. Puddin' Boskett, he was a little wild boy as well, due to what Aaron was telling him based on where he came from with slavery. He hated white people, he hated the system. So he always tried to take his anger, or did take his anger out on white people in society during around his community at that time. This was in North Carolina in the early, like late 1800s. So Pud, of course, he was known for shooting, cutting people, attacking white people. They had a bounty on his head. Eventually, he got locked up. He got locked up because he robbed a store for $12. $12 back then was like $1 million. Ended up stabbing someone. And in the event, he got away, but he got locked up about 2 weeks later, which he did 1 year, which is hard time, in Auburn. And Auburn at that time was just now finishing becoming a military post for the North. This was Auburn Correctional Facility. This was actually the first correctional facility in New York State. So now Puddin came home. Of course, he had a son named James. He had 3 sons, but we're going to stick to James because James is a little bit more important than the rest of his siblings, because this is Willie's father. And James, he heard about his father, Pud, because Pud, like I said, he lived a real crazy life to the point where he was well known in his family as a wild boy, a gangster in the streets. So these sons, they heard about their father growing up and wanted to maintain that image. So James, they called them, hey, stop it. There you go. You sit down. Be quiet. No, I ain't no act nothing. I'm over here talking to the people. She jealous. I'm giving y'all all my attention. So I gotta say, hold on, let me give her some attention real quick. So back to what I was saying. So where was I? So hold on. Yeah, she's mad. You see, sound like a big dog, and she's getting big, man. Look at her. Come here. Look at her now. Just got her ears clipped. So she's wild right now. Go ahead. Go. Now. Oh man. So where was I? Excuse me. That's daddy love there. I gotta show attention. So James, he wanted to maintain that image that his father had, and he started to run the streets. Make a long story short, he got married, he had children, and one of them was Willie. But by the time Willie was able to grow up to know who his father was, James ended up stabbing 2 people to death, and he had life in jail in Wisconsin. So Willie pretty much grew up on his own without his father and his mother. His mother didn't really want anything to do with him. So around 9 years old, Willie was in and out of the streets. And this is around 76, between 78. He was in and out of the streets, running around. He had people around this time that was trying to adopt him. Now, around this time, they didn't really have too many laws for juvenile delinquents. A lot of kids, they committed crimes, but what they would do is, hold on, hey, go. Get out of here. It's my Shih Tzu. Ain't all bother me. So they didn't have a law for juvenile delinquents at that time. They had something more called reformatories. So if you got in trouble, the family court stepped in and they played parent and they sent you to like a group home or something. And you got to better yourself and then you go home. You didn't have a felony. You didn't have any of that. But when Willie got involved in everything, it started to change. So around 76, Willie, he was about 10 years old. Of course, after everything was said and done with his father, he was moving around from group home to group home. They eventually sent him to New York City, where his mother resided in Harlem. Of course, his mother was not happy to see him because she didn't really know her son. She really didn't want anything to do with her son. And Willie used to always hang around her boyfriend, Charles, this guy named Charles. Charles was in the streets, and Charles used to tell him, yo, you want to run the streets, you got to get your name out there, you got to let dudes know that you're not having it. So, one day Willie was on the A train, and he saw a guy sleeping, nudged him. He didn't wake up. Willie stole his watch and stole about $65 out of his pocket. It was real smooth back then, 76. Not saying that I was walking around in 76. I was a baby in 75. But I know in the late 80s, I could understand how in the 70s was like, it was just loose. And to $65, man, you could get a pair of Jordans around that time. Well, Jordans didn't come out around that time, but in the mid 80s, Jordan sneakers was like $70. That was big money back then because nobody paid $70 for a pair of sneakers at that time. So you can imagine $65 in 76. Man, you had like $600. You know what I'm saying? And he was about 10 years old. So this is a lot of money to him. To him, this is where you buy penny candies. You get big toys for like 75 cents. So to him, this was a lot of money. So the guy woke up, tried to, get a hold of Willie. Willie stabbed him up and pretty much killed him. Went home. All of this comes out later on. He went home, told Charles about it, and gave Charles the $65, but Charles gave him a 22 automatic. Willie now decides to ride the F train, going to look for another victim, and saw a guy named Noah, who we found out later on as Noel Perez. He robbed Noel. Noel, of course, told him he didn't have no money. He didn't want no money. He saw a little kid, little baby face. Like, come on, you're not serious. Willie didn't play no games. Willie put a bullet in his eye. Right? Put a bullet in his eye. I guess it didn't pierce his brain because 22s, it doesn't exit. You know what I'm saying? So the guy kind of like, tried to tussle with Willie, and Willie put a bullet in his head, which he slumped, and Willie took $12 off of him. So here it is. Willie killed the man for $12. Right? He killed the man for like $12. Killed another man for, I think it was like $12 as well. Right? No, excuse me, $65. So this is, to us, this is no money. This is what Willie's doing. And Willie at this time, like I said, he's about 10 years old. As time going on, he's becoming a teenager and everything. He meets up with a guy named Herman off his block, and him and Herman go on a robbing spree. They end up running into a guy named Emmanuel Conaway, which is like 50, who was like 57, was riding the train in Manhattan, upper Manhattan, and end up robbing him and shot him for no reason. And he's 57 years old. The man, he survived. But now it was started to become on the airwaves that we got this young babyface killer running around, and they started to call Willie Boskett a serial killer. At the time, they didn't know his name. They just know he was a young, wild black kid running around just shooting people and killing people. As time went on now, Willie had got another victim, right? Named what's his name? Moses Perez, him and Herman. Now, again, him and Herman running the streets, in the train station. The train, for some reason, the train station always seemed to be a place where people get robbed and killed, right? You know what I'm saying? It seems like that's always a place. I guess I know, especially at that time, they didn't have any cameras. So you can imagine the crime rate at that time was just, you could get away with almost anything. You could jump the turnstile. They didn't have officers at the train station like that. So it was pretty much more relaxed at that time. So him and Herman rode the train station again and saw another guy coming home from work. It was real late. Guy named Moses Perez. No relations to Noel Perez. And of course, they asked him, how much money you got? Yo, what's up? Give me the money. Now, I'm knowing this because Willie done told his story. So I'm just reiterating everything to you. So now, Moses said, yo, man, I ain't got no money. Hey, I'm busted. They end up killing him because he didn't give up the money. Searched him anyway. The man had $2 in his pocket. They killed this man over $2. Willie, he leaves, his friend leaves, they separated. Herman gets caught up into something else. Of course, now make a long story short, he ended up snitching on Willie. Willie's get caught. Willie starts snitching on him. They found the gun at Willie's mother's place. So now he's locked up for 2 murders and an attempt murder. Now the airwaves is going crazy because now they looking at this babyface killer. They feel they can't do anything about. So around this time, the laws had kind of changed because now this wasn't just him, but it was a lot of crime around this time when it's dealing with teenage kids because it's the time they couldn't do nothing with them. You know, they get locked up. They ain't going, yeah, I'm going home. I remember those years. I was 13, 14. I get arrested. You call your father, your mother, and they come to the precinct and pick you up. And you go home. You know what I'm saying? Family court had a way of always stepping in. So they changed the law around 70, in the end of 1976, I believe September 1st of 1976, where now they wanted to charge juveniles felons and misdemeanors. Now, you see how history replays itself because didn't Biden and Hillary used us to do the same thing with Little Yummy to start charging us as super predators with 3 strikes out in 1994? They did the same thing. This is what they did with them. They always use us for some type of law. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, they always try to keep us down. But this is what they did based on Willie. You know what I'm saying? So when Willie got locked up, they felt the government, these politicians, they felt that they didn't really have the power that they necessarily needed to make sure that Willie never came home because he was underage. And based on the law, they couldn't charge him as an adult at the time. So it was this guy named Hugh Carey. He was running as a senator, and he wanted the law to be passed. You know what I'm saying? So eventually the law was passed in 78 where juveniles from 13 to 15 could be charged as an adult for felons and misdemeanors, because this was a way for them to attack us, the youth, to get them into the prison system. Because let's keep it real, you really can't get the adults too much. Wait a minute, I gotta rectify it. I was gonna say you can't get the adults too much to be manipulated to go into the system, but the way things is looking nowadays, these dudes my age is dumbing in the door now. I know a dude that just went back to jail. He like 55, 56 years old. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're too old to be running the street. If you ain't make it as a millionaire trying to be a kingpin right now, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But that's his life. But Yummy, they used him, of course, to charge us as super predators for the 3 strikes law. That was definitely going on in Chicago, which they try to make it universal, which they did. But with Willie, it was different because this was the first time that the government was attacking the youth in society, particularly the Black youth, because who they rounding up to come to jail more? They're not going into their own community. They're coming into ours. So Willie, you know, they felt upset because Willie got around this law because he was already locked up now, facing 2 murders and attempted murder. Now, he got 4 years for that. I know what you're saying, like, what? Yeah, he got 4 years for that because they couldn't charge him as an adult. They could only charge him as a juvenile. So the max for a juvenile at that time was 5 years. So when he came with the Gosha, he done stabbed a staff up there. He tried to escape. He tried to go whole lot. But again, he's a youth. You know what I'm saying? So eventually he made it out. But people like me, in my generation, we felt it because this would open the doors for Spofford. Now, Spofford is, they call it Division for Youth, right? Well, actually, it is part of Division for Youth, but the Division for Youth mostly plays with I would say the mini jails in New York State. The Division of Youth is where they prep the youth to be on Rikers Island. See, they attack the youth with these laws because, like I said, once you're convicted of a crime, you'll be reduced back to slavery. So who they want more to be in slavery? Not them. Of course, they want people of color. So they use the laws to rectify what they're trying to do to keep us down. You understand what I'm saying? So these youths that's running the streets, they attack them. They're not coming at the old heads like that because a lot of us is a little bit mature on life because of the harsh realities that we went through. Some of us had to go and do 4, 5, 6, 7 bids in order to understand the streets ain't for you. Some people get it at the same time. Some people get it at a different time. It's like the 9 planets in the universe. You know what I'm saying? We're 93 million square miles away from the sun, but we can feel the sun heat. Mercury is closer, but the Mercury, they get the heat, they get the sunlight first, and we all get the sunlight, not at the same time, but we all get the sunlight. You see what I'm saying? Some people get the knowledge quicker than others, and some can digest it quicker than others. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much they knew the youth was dumb as a doornail because most of us as adult was dumb. You know what I'm saying? So they attacked you. So now they start this thing called sparfing. Let me tell you something. You go on sparfing, when you get locked up in this, they actually take you to the precinct, 14, 15, right? And they call your parents and they tell your parents, now you're being charged as an adult. They ain't gotta call your parents to tell you, come down, come get you. They tell you, you listen, your son or daughter is going to Sparta. Oh yeah, they got girls in there too. Yeah, they got girls in there too. I went in there in 88, 89, I believe. 88, 89, right? And I'm not proud of this. I always share my experience. So those of you who do have children, you know to expect if your child start running the streets, because I'm put you on. There's a lot of people, they're not gonna put you on, especially when it comes to things like this, when it comes to sparfing with teenagers. We always hear crime that's being done by teenagers that's in the late teens, like 18, 17, 16, but not the youth that's like 13. You understand? So you go into this place. When you pull up, when I first went there, it was in the Bronx. It was on Whole Avenue, right? That's the name of the avenue. And you used to have prostitutes out there. And they'll have the gate open. The whole building is gray. They have the barbed wire gates. I'm painting a picture for you because I want you to see that when they put these kids in these jails or programs, what they want to call it, it's a jail, okay? I want you to see that it's actually a real jail that they're gearing our children up for. They're making them practice. They're giving them a practice right here. It's a test run for them. Now, they get into this place. They go to get searched. They get strip searched by another man, of course. They don't get told to bend over and spread their butt cheeks, but they do get told to squat and cough. After that, they get some clean underclothes and they get some used jeans. I don't know about how they do it now, but when I went to this, how they was gearing us up. So I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more advanced now to keep them a little bit more dumber. And once you get your used jeans, not used as the fashion, I'm talking about hand-me-down jeans. They give you some sneakers that has no sole, that is dirty and crusted inside. It's so black that they just tell you, oh, they put it in a washing machine or whatever. 1,000 people done wore these sneakers. Right? And you put them on, and then they tell you, come on, you go see the nurse, whatever. Now you go into this dormitory. But the dorm is not just beds. These are prison cells. Not the bars, but they got the doors. Now, just because they don't have bars don't mean they're not prison. It doesn't mean they're jail. Because there's a lot of jails or prison upstate right now that don't have bars. Okay. Now these kids, they go into this place and everybody's clicked up. Brooklyn, Queens, but now today, since they got gangbanging, there's all kinds of gangbanging in this division for youth because they following these old heads. Now you got the staff, who's not COs, they're regular workers. They dress like me, but they'll call staff. They'll call maybe like counselors, but these are fake look-alike prison guards. You understand? They don't have maids. Maybe now but they didn't have mace back then. They didn't have no batons. But they was muscled up and they was ready to take you down. And pretty much that's what they did. You act up, they'll slam you in your head. Who you gonna call? You ain't gonna call nobody. You can't even call Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta deal with the ass whipping. But this is what they was doing. And then they had females there. When I was there, I used to see the females. I was like, what in the hell? I'm trying to figure out why would 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls be in the jail? Like, what kind of street life could you be doing? You know what I'm saying? But you have some females, they was cutting people, they was boosting, you know, they was doing what they was doing in the streets, and then they would come there. Did I ever see anybody that had sexual No, that wasn't happening when I was there. They made sure that was not happening. The females was somewhere else on a whole another side of the building, but you was able to see them like going to school or going to eat. You were always running to them. You had it set up like the TVs. They knew who was running the house. They let them run the house. They was prepping us. And they gear us up for the prison lifestyle. And this is what they're doing to the youth again today. They did it with Little Yummy. They revised it now because it got more worse, because now the children in the 90s, they was picking up AK-47s and M1s. It wasn't like in Willie Boskett times. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Willie Boskett's still in jail. Make a long story short. Yeah, he's still in jail. He got 82 more years to go. He went back to jail when he was 21. I'm going to get back to where I was at. He went back to jail when he was 21. He was released. He only stayed in the streets for 100 days. He tried to do good, but, he had a lot of heat because everybody knew who he was. They was calling him a serial killer. The police was on him. And he went back to jail for a domestic dispute, and he ended up stabbing a CO. He ended up stabbing a CO there, which they gave him more time. He had so much time stabbing people, especially correctional officers, and they felt like he was a psychopath. And they didn't let him out. They kept him in solitary confinement for so long, to the point now he's out in population. Last I heard, he's in Wendy's Correctional Facility. He's 82 years old. He got about 82 or 80 years left to go. Sorry for him on that note. But back to what I said. But I had to introduce it to you because he was the reason why they used his name to change the laws. This is why the children today are being charged as felons from 13 to 15 because of him. You know what I'm saying? They used him. They used Yummy to attack our youth out there. That's why I always say it's important to educate our youth. If you ran the street, don't hold it back. Let them know. Let them know the ins and outs. Let them know the consequences of it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, they're going to fall victim to this. You know what I'm saying? They're going to fall victim to what they see on TV. Don't hold it back. Be raw with them. So you get there, like I said, you'll get there and spar it. And, it's a bully thing. If they act like they're really in jail, they line up. They get escorted. There's no talking in the halls. They use their toothbrushes and they sharpen it up to make it look like a shame. Yeah, that's what they doing because they see it on TV. And the staff knows this. They watch them. Instead of trying to break up the faction that they have to start gearing up from prison. Yeah. And if you get too wild in there, when you turn 16, they get you out of there and they move you to Rikers Island. They straight to Rikers Island. So now you're already prepared. You know what I'm saying? You was already in kindergarten. Now you got prepared, and now you're in high school. That's why people always start going back and forth to jail because they get too comfortable. This is why some of them can't what's the word I'm looking for? Rehabilitation. They can't rehabilitate because prison is not for rehabilitating. Yeah, that's dangerous. Thank you, Monica. It is. Hold on. Yeah, it definitely is dangerous. That's how sparse it is. So I stayed there for approximately about 4 months. All I could remember was Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas. I remember that. I think it was 89. Yeah, I think 89 I had left and I went to Tryon, right? Tryon is in I believe, Peekskill, New York. I was there for 4 months. I had a robbery, I think. I was a kid, you know. I was following the streets. I was like most of the youth, just a follower. You know what I mean? Oh man, that was a long time. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was like 13, I think, at the time. 14 or 13. Yeah, I think I was 13. And I think it was my first or second time in Spofford. I'm not sure. But it was prepping me. I was scared to death, of course, because I saw this movie with Sean Penn called Bad Boys. And you know, when you go to school, back in my time going to school, do they still have that place open? Spofford, yeah, they still have it open, but not on Whole Avenue. They got it somewhere else now. It's all fixed up and done up. I heard they got elevators and not saying they're trying to make prison look good, but that old one I heard is still there. I don't know if it's still open. But yeah, I left there and I went to Tryon. They handcuffed us. Even when I went to court, I used to go to court, the family court. They have us handcuffed next to each other. It was like we was on Rikers Island, though. I never been to Rikers Island this time, but I'm trying to paint a picture to you how they gearing our babies up for prison. They shaping them up soon as they get in there. It's not no, oh, he gonna just be like in a group home and he gonna eat cookies and candy. And you get a little snack at night, but don't think it's gonna be peaches and cream in there. It's some real gangster shit that's going on in Spofford. And now they got this gangbanging thing going on. Oh, baby, it's even worse now. They acting like they on Rikers Island because they listening to the older fools like myself. So they trying to make a point to prove with this. And they don't even know that the system is using their ways and behaviors and their actions to revise the law to have a reason to attack our children. Attack them, but they don't see this. They don't know this. But I'm here to let it be known. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine, good evening. Good evening. Luckily, I got y'all on another device because I can't see y'all on my screen over here, y'all comments, but I can see y'all on another device. But yeah, so I got up there to the jail. Of course, they unlocked the cuffs. I was up there with some big white boys, like thank you, Jasmine. I was up there with these big white boys, these big hillbillies, you know, they were staffed. Of course, you could tell they didn't like us, you know, we were just a bread and butter for us. And they had a lot of activities in that prison. I wasn't in a real maximum security, but it was a prison it was a jail, I would say that. It wasn't a prison because a prison is totally different from that environment, but it was definitely a jail that, you know, depending on your size, your weight, your crime, they put you in different types of dorms where you meet different types of individuals. And this is how people become clicked up in prison, especially in that atmosphere at the time because people was clicked up. And, you know, it's crazy because as I got older and I came home, I didn't learn anything because they didn't teach anything. They're not there to really teach. It would really take a good staff to actually take their time out to get in touch with the children and reach them so they don't come back. Others is mostly white. They don't give a fuck about us. We're just a meal ticket there, and they let us go to school, teach us what we don't know, and they ain't gonna know. You know what I'm saying? They're not there to educate us like the schools in our society. So these kids is just there to do their time and then go home and then come back or gear up to go to Rikers Island. This is the manipulation that they're using. And like I said, they did it with Little Yummy, and they came at the children in 1994 with the same type of thing with the 3 strikes law in Chicago. And then New York picked it up with the stop and frisk. And who revised that in 1994? Hillary Clinton, that you voted for. Remember when she was running? Yeah, you. And Joe Biden, the one you said, oh, for Camilla. Yeah, you. You voted. That's who you voted for. And I'm not saying this to mock you, but I want you to realize, like, oh, look who I voted for all this time. That's why I said I don't vote. I don't want nothing to do with this system. I could do it myself. Just pass some laws so I can make it happen. If you don't want to pass laws, then I will just go around your laws and make it happen. I don't need you. We didn't need them in Africa before we met them. Why we need them now? You know what I'm saying? But this is what they was doing to get into our children. Now you got, you know, I want to show you how Willie looked too around this time. I'm sorry. Uh, because Willie here, Willie looked at, he had the baby face, you know. Oh man. Give me a second, y'all. So this is how Willie looked at the time of his arrest. He looked like a killer. He don't look like no killer, right? Look at that little young brother. Brother don't look like no killer, man. But man. And when the streets at the time, that's what we heard was Willie Boskett. Like this dude was not, our votes no matter, but our people don't get it. Yeah, Jasmine, they don't get it. But you know, the reason why our people don't get it, and I can understand, it took some time. It's like, yo, our people are so damn dumb. But it's really, it's really not based on our ignorance. Well, it is based on our ignorance, but it's to help our own people. Remember, I was talking about those boulets? See, we don't be trusting white folks, but we always trust ourselves. Well, most of us don't trust white folks, but we trust ourselves a lot more. And then we get these in-between, house Negroes with their suit and ties, with their college degrees, who feel like they want to be in the politicians and be with the politicians, the Caucasian politicians in the master's house. They feel like they can control our anger. And then they come and they tell us, oh, your vote matter, your vote matter. Now, to be honest, at one point in time, our vote did matter. And this is when King and them was around. This is why white boys, when they started the Ku Klux Klan and everything, well, not started around that time. Well, they revised it and re-enhanced it into a better version of what it was in the late 1800s. They took the time out to damn near kill us and beat us to death to not vote, because at that time, our vote really did matter. But this was the cause of them to change the laws when it came to voting. Now it's no longer the popular vote. My vote, your vote, everybody vote who has a 9 to 5. It doesn't count to put the president in office. Only the electoral college vote goes to them. Who is that? Those are the people like the mayors, the senators, the congressmen, especially the mayors and the governor. Those are the people we vote for. Now, our votes count to put them in office. So they tell us, yeah. I'm going to vote. Who you want to vote for? Yeah, we got the same idea. And yeah, we go, yeah, because we put you in office. Then as soon as they get in office, they say, man, fuck these fools. I'm going to do what the powers that be say. I'm in the circle. What we going to do? Man, the hell with these people. I already got their vote. They can't vote me out. Hey, we going to put Trump in office. And you wonder why? What happened? Then you go, oh, what happened? That's how it is. That's how it always been set up. It always been set up like that from day one when this country was built. The system that was built was to always keep us at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? It's not the only way we're gonna change that is to overthrow it. It ain't gonna be nice. It ain't gonna be easy. It's to overthrow it. And if we don't overthrow it violently, if we overthrow it politically, that means they have to have some snake in the grass in their nation to put us on top, like we did to our nation. Because they didn't come out of the cage and meet some intelligent people in Africa and took over. It didn't happen like that. We educated them and we betrayed ourselves like we do today. And they get up in office. But yeah, so now these laws are being changed again as always when it concerns us, because they figuring out ways how to always keep us in prison more longer. So, and once hip hop came out with Biggie and everything, and the hip hop police, they decided to use music by changing the laws due to music, because people is using music to kill one another now. You see how now you can't rap about certain things, and they're using hip hop against our youth, and we online. Here for the knowledge, peace. Oh, you just got off? Okay. I don't know why it's not popping up over here but I can see y'all on the other device. All right, but they using this music, and the hip hop police, they know. You know, I was talking about Biggie yesterday, and I was talking about how, you know, they saw a tool to keep the youth more ignorant and more in prison. You know what I'm saying? And they used the music. And the federal government, they have ownership to screen every record label in this country. They have part ownership of every social media besides, I know, of TikTok and Red Note and all that. They don't. But this is why they also want power TikTok, because people can do what they want on TikTok and they don't have the authority to get any evidence or information on TikTok unless somebody go up on it and get it. You know what I'm saying? But if they delete it, they don't have the power to go in there and get it out. Excuse me. Woo! That block of cold water, I love it. Cold water with the block of ice on it, man. I got a deep freezer. I love it. But where was I? Oh yeah. So they screen YouTube. They screen everything. Everything we say, they screen. Yeah, ice cold. I love it here for the knowledge, y'all. I love it, especially like when you drinking all night. You know what I'm saying? And you come up from a party, you wake up in the morning, you just dehydrate, you drink that. Woo, man. But look, so they're using the music against us. And it's funny because the hip hop police was, to me, was like another form of COINTELPRO. Because when Tupac and Biggie was going at it, as I was speaking about it yesterday, and they started the hip hop police, my first thing was, what was the purpose of the hip hop police? They said to gather information. Okay, you could do that without forming a task force. Divide and conquer. It was a part of that too, man. All of them was a part of that. You know, they used the music for Pac and Big to kill one another. Of course, everybody gassed Tupac up at the same time because he never went multi-platinum like that. So, I mean, you could imagine, like, yo, I'm only going platinum, and now I'm dissing this fat dude here. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting big. I'm selling 4, 5, 6 million records. I'm going to keep doing it. And you know, the hip hop police, they got pictures. I saw mugshots of Puffy, Biggie, Nas, Funkmaster Flex. I was like, what the hell? But they got pictures of them and they use the music against us. So we up in the music and we dissing one another. They know some of us are NYPD. Ain't am I right? Some of us that look like me and talk like me. We're in the feds. So we listen to hip hop. We already know when you guys act like that you be making this drill music and like they don't understand. Yo, only us understand. You forgot there was some cops that used to be gangbanging that don't gangbang. They just got away. They never got caught and they turned their life around and became cops. Some of them ran the streets. They never got caught, turned their life around and became cops. That don't mean they don't know how to listen to hip hop or know what you're saying. Then you start this drill rap. Oh, Lord. Right? So we went through the Tupac and Biggie phase. They're always using these laws with the music. And now that the laws against us with music, anything you say will be held against you doing the music. Because I want you to understand, young people, I really want you to understand something. Let me stop for a second. I want you to understand how it's taught. When you get locked up, right? You get arrested and they put the handcuffs on you, you are detained. They may say, no, you're not arrested. Bullshit. If they put cuffs on you, you are detained, which means you're arrested. They use it. It's like a gray area. Put it like that. You may not be arrested, but you're definitely detained. But this is what they say. But technically, if you get cuffs on you, you're supposed to be arrested. Because what? You're detained. Now, when they say you have a right to remain silent, anything you say will be used and held against you in a court of law. That means if you say, that's going to be held against you in a court of law because the cough happened at the murder scene. So shut up. Okay? Don't say nothing. You just say, listen, my name is so-and-so and so, and I live at so-and-so and so, and my birthday is so-and-so and so, and my mother name, you ain't even got to give them that. That's all they need. You don't need to talk about where you came from. And they use that as a bullshit excuse too. All right, you're not arrested, but where you came from. None of your goddamn business where I came They don't need no evidence or nothing, because what they do is they build evidence against you. Now, everything you say, even if you don't get your rights read to you, that is something called a DD-5. That means they don't need anything written down. Anything you say, they write it down, and they say Brian said his name was King Slugger, and that's, and whenever I go in front of the judge, that's what they're gonna say. I said, who they gonna believe? You or the police? That's why you need to shut up. What do I mean? How do I get to that? Because that's like making an audio tape video statement. Stop coming on YouTube and telling me, listen here, boy, this is what I try to do, boy. And then little Ronnie and all of y'all that with that murder scene, y'all is look. Let me show you something. Let me prove to you how all of y'all that be up here beefing and talking about how you gonna kill each other or fight each other, wherever coast you at. I'm talking to you, right? I want to show you something. I said this yesterday, but I have the video now. Birmingham, Alabama, man goes live while showing off pounds in a trap house. Feds immediately pinpoint his location and kick this front door in. Put your hands up. Put your hands behind your back. Look how fast they came. Hold up. Oh man, all right. This is one of the other videos. But he was already bagging up. Oh, here we go. Look at that. He's live. He's bagging up, baby. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Making a videotape statement. Look at this. He all happy. This is on social media. Look at this. Got his picture in there. Stand up, motherfucker. That's what they say. Stand up. So if he could be on TikTok doing this, because all the social media platforms, wherever we sign up for, it tells you, yeah, if not, it's crazy. They tell you they have guidelines. Most of us, like, we don't like reading directions and guidelines and stuff like that. Most of the time, let's keep it real. Most of the time when we read guidelines is when we get blocked on or one of our posts get blocked, then we want to start reading, right? But all of them have guidelines to the point, like if I say something talking about molesting children or something, this video goes up, it picks it up immediately and it will block this video. So here you are making this video of you making pounds of weed. Look, the feds is part ownership in all of this. The feds is part ownership. And somebody put that on TikTok. That doesn't mean they got it up there. He got it somewhere else. He probably was on IG. And before he hung up, baby, they kicked in that door. So what does that mean when we get to the Little Ronnie situation? When we get to all these real rappers that's beefing online, that's talking online, talking about all this gang activity and gang information. I understand a lot of us like to talk about gang activity, but I think it's crazy to be friends with gangbangers that's in prison just to get information or what's going on inside their organization and then come up here and put it up here for the feds to know. Now, 9 out of 10, feds probably already know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying what we do, sometimes we got to be conscious. I don't knock anybody, for doing it. I just think it's crazy. But I think it's more crazy, because maybe some people just like to report the news. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But me personally, I can't even really blame them for coming up on YouTube and doing it too much, because if the person you're telling the information about, to, is not part of your organization, why the hell are you telling them anyway for them to tell the whole world? But they do that. And these dudes that got into the situation with little Ronnie and killing him and his daughter, it was just crazy to me because let me show you something. Because some of y'all wasn't on here yesterday, right? They didn't really know how the beef started, right? I just want to show you something real quick. So they asked one dude, because some of y'all wasn't here. They asked one dude, what was the beef for? But they might ask both of them, both of the alleged killers, right? Because they got both of them now, who are being charged right now with capital murder. That is natural life or the death penalty. That is the law in Texas. This is, I'm going to hold up. I don't think you heard me. They are being charged, both of them, with capital murder, right? Which holds only two things mandatory in this case: the lethal injection or natural life, right? Now, they asked this dude, one of the shooters, what was the beef about?
Trying to like not get the hook no more. Where did it start from? It's hate. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is how it really started. It really started from CJ, man. Like, shit. CJ just popped. You see the guy popped out of nowhere, started popping. Shit. Didn't like that shit.
So that was the first video statement that he made to the feds online, right? Concerning this beef. He said, yeah, the guy just popped. I don't think he realized what he was just doing. But this is what he's saying. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? You following this crap? Okay, look. So one of the shooters, allegedly, I would say allegedly, he don't know why. He don't know why. He said the guy just popped. So he didn't take the initiative to call a guy up and say, yo, what's going on? You know, maybe we could dead this or whatever. He just said the guy just popped. And he just took it upon himself to do whatever. Now look. Okay. Now they asked the other shooter, why was this beef going on? They online beefing. Sometimes they beefing like 30 minutes. Sometimes as much as I'm online, they up there smoking weed, they all beefing, right? So here you go, ask him. He don't even know. He was just doing him. Now, this little girl, 5 years old, is murdered because they don't even know. They don't even know. They are facing, well, they have enough time to think about it. Yeah, they got enough time to think about it now. And you know what's so crazy is that hold on, let me see. Okay, I was missing something. Damn. But anyway, I don't really need it. It was so crazy because I thought I had the video, right? Man. Hold on a second. All right, well, forget it. Anyway, in the video, they had them pull up. Allegedly, the female that was driving didn't know that they were going to do a hit. That's what she said. I got to go with it. Hey, I guess she didn't see the big ass AR-15 that they had in the car with the pistol and the shotgun and everything. She didn't see that. So I guess she didn't know that what their intentions was, since the car wash they was at is on the other side of town where they live at, where they was following the baby mother. But I'm not, this is what she said. This is public information. So it ain't like I'm saying, what you trying to say, Slugger? I'm going to let you figure this shit out. I'm still trying to put it together. You know what I mean? So they followed the baby mother, and the baby mother calls little Ronnie. Yeah, that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? She should get charged too because hold on, listen to you're gonna listen to this. So the baby mother calls little Ronnie and says, listen, I'm being followed. He like, don't worry about it. They not following you. Because I guess he figured he was on the other side of town away from wherever they really hang out at. So you should be safe. Like, ain't nobody thinking about you. Like, come on over here. So as she pulled up to the car wash, they actually seen jackpot. We followed her for good reason. We thought they, she was gonna lead us to them. So we're gonna do what we're gonna do. So they jumps out of the car and they runs up to the passenger side. Now, I'm trying to understand where the sister said she had no idea. Because if I'm driving and I pull over and I start seeing you grab some guns, it's time for me to get the hell up out of here. I'm gonna tell you right then and there, I don't got nothing to do with that. I've been a victim of that. Let me tell you a story. I'm get to back what I'm talking. So I was hustling, right? And I wasn't hanging around my old crew like that anymore. I was just doing me. You know what I mean? Because for some reason I got tired of getting arrested for shit that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So I like to at least let me get arrested for shit I do. So I came out of a building from, making some money. And I was headed to my car, which was like parked on the sidewalk halfway. It was like one of them one-way blocks, but the blocks was really small. So you could actually, park on the sidewalk. So I had my man in there and it was his birthday. So I had stuff in the trunk where I keep it because, you're going to need a warrant for that. This is around 99 Problems came out, So I used to always say that in my head, you're going to check the trunk, you're going to need a warrant for that. So as I get in the car and I pull off onto the sidewalk, the boys pull up behind me. My license is good. Everything is good. I have to. I'm riding dirty. I'm supposed, you know what I'm saying? So they hit the car alarm. The police alarm. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like, all right, cool. Pull over. I'm looking at my man. I'm like, you good? He like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, pull over and stuff. He already know that I'm dirty. So as I pull over, they ask me for my license, my registrations. I'm good. Soon as they get that, the boy, he pulled me out the car, step out. I'm like, wow. I'm not thinking I shouldn't have stepped out, but I stepped out. But in my head, I'm like, I went through this a few times. I don't got no problems. I'm always getting let go. They put me in back of the car, talking to me at the trunk. I'm talking. They asked me where I'm going. I said, I'm just driving with my friend. It's his birthday. That's it. Next thing you know, they got this fool in handcuffs. I'm like, what's going on here, right? I'm like, oh shit, maybe he had a warrant. They like, oh, you got anything illegal in the car? I'm like, why would I have anything illegal? Like, because your man looked like he got an ounce of cocaine on him. This fool didn't tell me that he had cocaine on him. When I found out after I got caught, arrested and everything and got my paperwork, but they separated our cases because in my car, I just got caught with weed. He got caught with the hard stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had nothing to do with that. He got caught with that and in his groin. Now in my head though, I'm saying to myself, you've been my friend for several years since we was kids. We're adults. We're in our 30s now, pushing 40s. You know what I'm saying? We've been friends since we was teenagers in our early teens. You think you shouldn't have told me you had cocaine on you? And we both on parole on top of that? But see, this is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes when you can't ride with people who's dirty. And even if you have saw that, if I would have saw that and I knew he had that, don't get in my car with that shit. No, because anything could be liable. What if they would have pulled us over? And I knew he had that. Now I can't even say nothing. But I was so pissed off with him, I cut him off for a while behind that. I done made friends with him. Well, not friends, I made peace with him, but I keep it pushing because I realized I can't be a friend to a person like that. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say this. She cannot tell me that she has nothing to do with this if you already seen that. You cannot hide a big ass AK-47. You can't. That's what happened to me. My wife always be like, stop having people in your car. I'm like, yeah. Now, after that, I learned the lesson. I don't care who you are. That's a fact. Because dudes ain't going to tell you, yo, I got the grip on me. Let me tell you something. The man can have a grip on him, and something happens and he fire and hits somebody. What's the first thing you're going to do as a black person? Naturally, what? You run. You're going to run. And if you don't, you're going to be like, nah, I got cases. They're going to try to pin this on me. Now, even if you run, now when you run, you're an accessory. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're innocent, now if you get caught up because the camera saw both of y'all and you look like you running with your friend, but you trying to run away from the scene, what you going to do, snitch? See what I'm saying? Now it's a real bad situation for you. So for me, I felt that it was a bad situation for her, and she had the decision to make to get out of the car. You can't tell me you didn't see those guns. These is young boys. They always flashing guns. And they following this dude baby mother. But they have no evidence to say that she knew. But she got, make a long story short, they park, they get out of the car. Hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. They get out of the car, hoodied up. I don't even know why one of them got a white ass hoodie. Broad daylight, at a car wash where people's outside. Meanwhile, the car's parked with the license plate still on the car. While the video cameras is pointing at the car that they're getting out of. You see how smart this is? And then they run up to the car. And then they fire and through the passenger side where the little girl is sitting in the passenger seat. Did they claim they didn't see her, or did they see her? I think they saw her and didn't give a fuck. And they aired that little girl out, and they aired him out over beef. They have no idea why it started. Now they're sitting in jail looking like an asshole. Meanwhile, while they was on the run, another one of their friends, oh, wish I had it, got on Instagram. He started making a video talking about where's the mother blood. I'm telling you right now, blood. These niggas don't know blood. I killed you, blood. You killed my man now, blood. I killed you. Look at all of this videotape statement that they're making. So see, when these dudes are in jail in the feds, these two dudes that killed Ronnie, right? They're gonna play all their videos in court. And they're gonna be telling them, feds ain't gotta do nothing. They get to sit there like, yeah, go ahead. But they might just have them snitches to find out what really happened. Now the girl, she's home. The one that was driving. I don't know how she got out of that one, but she was home. You saw her? When they arrested her, you said she was in tears. And I'm laughing because you wasn't like that prior to that killing. I have no mercy for her because that 5-year-old girl got murdered. She didn't deserve that. If you wanted to catch homeboy out, you could have did that on your own time. Yeah, your fake tears. But no, it probably was real because, see, me and you and those of you who watch me are pretty much more aware and have more knowledge and experience in society to know better. They pretty much dumb, meaning they're ignorant, which means they're unaware, and they're getting high and they're getting drunk, and they don't know the aspects of the cameras and all of that and the technical errors, and they think they could get away with it, and then they get caught. So I really don't have no sympathy for her. You know what I mean? She better be saving. Better hope nobody around there kill her or one of her family members. Because she took right to Instagram. She told me, I never do that work. That mother, I love that. I love kids and all of this. And she started making posters everywhere. Why were you even talking? You just escaped capital murder. You up there leaving more evidence? Yeah, because anything you say will be held against you in a court of law, or that they let her go. You still making videotape statements. Why? Children should be off limits. If you see the ops and they have a child with them, nah, postpone that crap. Yeah, postpone that. I would. I wouldn't even do that. In my era, while I was growing up, it happened, but it was very rare somebody would do that. But that was like off limits, and then people found out that you did something like that, they didn't deal with you or they came at you. You know what I'm saying? You kids was off limit. Rape was off limits. That was something. If you raped somebody in prison, you wasn't surviving. And it's real funny in that aspect because, well, when I started going to jail, I only seen heard one person get raped. I didn't see it. I heard about it, but let me see. I think those two dudes going to snitch on her, and they're going to come right back for her. I think they're going to snitch on a lot of other people because it didn't just start with those two. I heard it started with some dude named Yoko Shorty or something like that. It got to deal with other people. Females are involved in it too. So they still doing their investigation on that. It's not over. You know what I'm saying? They still doing their investigation. So I'm pretty sure them dudes, I think the only thing they would try to do is, and by telling, is try not to get the death penalty. That's it. Because it's gonna be either or. Either you cop out to natural life, you know what I'm saying, or you go to trial and you get the death penalty. That's how they work over there. So I don't know. They might try to get that capital murder off somehow, but I don't think those two dudes is going to be able to do that because they actually are caught on camera firing. Not only that, I wish I had the video. Not only that, firing, but when they was running back to the car, they said, "Yeah, we did it." Yeah, the video, it has a volume. You hear them running. Yeah, we did it. They was happy. I said, these goddamn idiots. If y'all out there, man, y'all out there trying to kill people, please think about it. Please think about why you trying to kill someone. Please. Damn, I try to show so much of my experience. I don't like to always recap of what I went through, but I always like to talk about it to the people out there that actually probably is running the streets or probably going back and forth and don't have the knowledge that I had or was given to me to make life better for you so you don't go through the bullshit that I went through and be traumatized. Because prison traumatized you. I don't care how long you've been in there. When you go in prison, you are not the same. It's just like correctional officers. When they work in a prison, they are not the same. They come home from work and they act like inmates. I am serious. That's why they all get caught up with the drug sales in the prison. That's jail shit. That's street shit. How you finally make it off the streets and having a good 9 to 5 and making all this money to start going to work to do jail shit in jail and break the law in jail? Who breaks the law in jail as a working person? I know society's crazy, man, but they're not the same. So, back to the drill rap, and it's crazy because drill rap actually started in Chicago with the disciples and the folks and all of them. And they was out there promoting the drill while we was still out here with our regular hip hop stuff, and they was killing each other like that. It wasn't wasn't it Chief Keef and all of that. They was promoting that drill rap. We wasn't into that. And then now it comes up on me. It seems like it's something with gangbanging. It's something with the root of it that whatever it touches, it destroys. Because no matter where this formula lands, this ingredient to start gangbanging, no matter where it lands, it shows the same destruction in the same way. It's just different name, different ages, and different faces. That's crazy. That shit has to be uprooted for real. Y'all have to change that. Y'all out there, if y'all banging, y'all listening, yo, please, man, y'all have to change that because y'all are killing our community. And you talking to someone that was doing it, and I feel like shit even being a part of it. I don't even want to talk about what I used to do no more because it's really embarrassing. Because when I look at this shit on TV in New York, I be going shaking my head. I tell my wife, I be like, yo, my people, man. And I feel so bad because I was a part of the destruction. I was part of the deception. I was part of the manipulation. Because, if you gangbang it, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing that. You're going to be doing that, especially if you're trying to make it big. So you are what you eat. So whatever you're doing, that's what you're bringing into your camp. And that's why they all running around crazy right now. It got so crazy the old heads don't even have control of them no more. They trying to get rid of the old heads because they want their power, whatever that shit is. You know what I'm saying? Because the power that I see at the old head had, I was talking about that in my one of my shows called Inside the ADX. You want that type of power? You can have that. You know what I'm saying? You want your name ringing and go viral? Go ahead, go do what them do is do Little Ronnie. You could be up there. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all too longer because I'm getting ready for midnight. Yeah, my birthday coming. I'm about to be 50. Yes, yes, yes. I did it. I did it. I did it. I wasn't supposed to be here. I was not so. I was so close, and the people that I talked about and knew, if I never separated from them, I would have had natural life in jail. I would have been in ADX, and I'm not stroking my ego because I came up with a lot of these gangbangers around the early times of gangbanging started. You know what I'm saying? Young generation need a lot of motivation speakers that have been in gangs. Yeah, they do. You know what? I always say this, right? When I hear motivational speakers speak, if you haven't been what they've been through, you shouldn't be speaking. Speak on stuff you know. Speak about education in school, or if you know how to create a trade or build a trade or build a business, speak about that. Leave the street stuff for the street kids because they understand it. That's why the brother Clarence 13X Smith, when he left the Nation of Islam, he was able to build the nation of gods on earth, which is known as the 5% nation, because unlike the brothers from the FOI, where a majority of them don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't use profanity, they don't even say nigga. Some of them do because we all came from the street, so it's not peaches and cream all the way 100% over there, but they're working on themselves. But what I'm trying to say is Clarence 13X Smith, he took the opportunity to be with them in the streets, shoot dice, smoke weed, smoke cigarette. All right, yeah, some people would say, yeah, he wasn't living the righteous life. All right, but he got to them to give them knowledge of self to make sure they was better. And then with the proper knowledge, you will know not to smoke, not to drink, not to call your sister this or do that because you're studying. Happy birthday, can't stay up and remember you're about to be 50 like you said. So it's definitely time to get ourselves together, get me together. At least when you leave the world, your wife and children can be proud of you. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to do that now, man. Well, not trying. I am doing that. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna still learn as I go along. I'm gonna still make mistakes. I'm gonna keep making mistakes until the day I die, because God said in the Bible and the Quran, in order for you to grow up or mature more in life through experiences, you have to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And after your mistakes become success, where you can breathe easy. You know what I'm saying? Until the next struggle comes. So it's all about, you know what I'm saying, as my wife say, accountability. Take accountability and it's to better yourself, you know? And so I hope a lot of our people are doing that, you know. But back to what I was saying with the gangs, the speakers who was formerly gangbanging, I think they should do that and concentrate more on the brothers in the street. I don't think you should stop them on a curb and start talking to them. I mean, if you can, if they want to listen to you and you dropping some knowledge, I just don't think that's the place, because majority of them you see on the street, they smoking weed and they drinking. They can't focus like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get them caught up into something more valuable to listen to. So like they in gangs. If you was a gangbanger, you smoking weed with them, start talking about the shit you did. And they gonna glorify that shit. And then when you slip the message in there like I did, then they gonna listen to that and be like, damn, OG, I ain't know it was like that. Yo, nah, my dude be writing me like, oh, nah, I can't do this no more. Nah, I ain't know it was like that. Because a lot of people is not gonna tell them what it's like. Because like me and the brother was saying, a lot of these speakers that was in a gang culture, they never been to prison, so they can't tell them the harsh realities of prison. That's why people sometimes I hear people say, you got to stop going to jail, you got to do this. If you haven't been there or know the struggle, you can't really tell a person to stop going there, especially if you're not giving them an exit to be successful. Some people don't even know the directions. I came home one time, when I first came home at 34, I was lost and confused. I didn't know which way to go, my left or my right. because I left the society at 19 years old. So coming back at 34, I was a lost grown ass man in a 19-year-old mindset. Although I still had the teachings of the nation, but I had more education when it came to bettering myself and my history. But to make moves in society, I did not have that education. I had to go search for it. It was frustrating because I didn't have nobody spoon feeding me like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. I had to figure it out on my own. I had to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? I had to stumble, trip over my feet a few times to figure things out. Because sometimes people in society don't want to help. You know what they call it? Crabs in the barrel. Yeah, some people don't want you to be successful, especially when they hear what you're trying to do, especially when they're not doing shit for themselves. My wife always say, I know I speak about my wife all the time, but we always talk about the science and knowledge and everything. But she always say, don't tell people your plans because people don't never want to see you make it. And sometimes when they think and hope of your failure, that energy can make you fail. Because we're really powerful people spiritually if we could get in tune with our spirituality. You know what I'm saying? You could think something into existence, how powerful you are. You don't believe me? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You're going to tell me right now, right? And then after you tell me, you're going to walk right into your own prophecy. See what I'm saying? Your mind can paint a picture that's not even here. Gotta think about it. So next time, keep your moves quiet. You know what I'm saying? Keep your moves quiet, man. Oh man, I gotta get a haircut. I should have came in neat tonight, but tomorrow, baby, it's going down. But look, y'all got anything else y'all wanna want me to touch up on real quick before I close out? Willie Boskett. And they made Willie into a serial killer. Used Willie, where Willie was off the hook, but they used Willie to exercise their law, like Joe Biden and Hillary exercise their law. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I will, brother, I will. You know, and it's just an attack on us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna start talking a little bit more on a little politics. I left Trump alone a little bit. I just want to mostly focus more on us instead of always, pushing the topic. Well, I always push the topic on the enemy, but I always like to talk about the enemy, talk about our force, and talk about what we could do to better ourselves because we can't always point the finger because they say when you point the finger, there's 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. So you can't always criticize people because sometimes, hey, look what's in your house. You know what I'm saying? So I always like to, target our behavior as well because we're not peaches and cream. We can always scream about racism and all that. But the biggest racism in the world is in our community, which is called reverse racism because we're killing ourselves because we don't know ourselves, which means we hate ourselves. So I'm going to leave it on that note and I'm going to say good night to all of y'all. God bless. And I'll be with y'all again another time. You know what I mean? God bless you. Thank you for tuning in with me. And I'll see y'all another time. Later.